button again. Here we go. Chris, so what happened to Jayden Daniels and ASU?
Yeah, so there were conversations after the season that Daniels had with Herm Edwards about his status moving forward with the program, even though he expressed in those conversations that he wanted to stay and lead the team for a fourth year. He was behind the scenes working with people close to him, exploring some possibilities from Power 5 and even Pac-12 teams. And as the process unfolded with ASU staffing changes related to the NCAA investigation, Zach Hill resigned, Antonio Pierce resigned, and the other three coaches, that coupled with the continuing circumstances at ASU ultimately led Jayden Daniels to decide that he wanted to explore his options in the transfer portal.
How should the team take this? Does it feel like a stab in the back by any means?
Yeah, I think from a leadership standpoint, there were always questions about Jayden Daniels, or certainly at least in the last couple of years. And this is a reflection of both his lack of confidence in the program at this state and time, but also the fact that he essentially committed and put out a social media video in his support of the program moving forward in December after the conclusion of the season to now depart. And I think on social media, there was a wide variety of reaction, including a video of some ASU players that were involved around his locker and saying some pretty harsh things. So I think it was polarizing to some degree, Jayden Daniels, and what his tenure ended up being as a Sun Devil after such an incredible start that he had. But the way that the season kind of turned disappointing last year with such high hopes, and the investigation and his regression, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, missed a lot of throws down the field, some mechanical issues, and some questions about their operational success. I think all of that spiraled into a situation that was pretty bad.
Where do they go from here?
Right. So I don't think they're going to add any more quarterbacks. It's pretty late in the process for that. They do have 5 quarterbacks on their roster, none of whom have really played at this level. They got a 4-star transfer from Alabama who's a big, strong, 6'5", 230-pound kid who's the great-grandson of Bear Bryant, comes with a pretty good pedigree. And then returning to their program, Trenton Bourget was originally a walk-on who is known as a good operator and someone who has a grasp of the offense, but not as good at physical tools as Jayden Daniels. And then they have 3 younger guys who probably are not ready to play. Finn Collins might have the best chance out of those 3.
Good shot here on this, Chris. Is this rock bottom? Like, how many more hits can this program just keep taking? I'm sure it's not as bad as we all seem, but it's definitely not anywhere in the good realm. But I mean, what do they do? Is this rock bottom, basically?
No, I would say that we're still in the dark part of the tunnel here. And we're months away probably from the notice of allegations. ASU is going to self-sanction quite aggressively throughout the rest of this year, which means recruiting is going to be bad. I don't think that players are going to have any confidence that this staff will be intact beyond this season. High school kids are going to be concerned about wanting to go to ASU as a result of that. Maybe not being able to play in a bowl game or 2, the team's ability to be successful and win. You have a huge amount of booster and fan support being depressed now. Some people don't want to renew their season tickets, or they're cutting back the amount they're contributing to the athletic department. There's a lot of calls for Ray Anderson to face some sort of responsibility or blame for this. So it's a bad situation, probably as bad as I've ever seen in covering ASU for many years now. And I think that it's going to probably only get worse for at least probably the rest of this year, unfortunately.